The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy.
Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined, as always, by my doofus in a cage, the boy.
Hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. Today we're talking about Royal Rumble 2017. As always, there's a bunch of cool shit in the description. If you wouldn't mind clicking it, it'd make me happy. Also hit that like button.
Yeah. So we're talking about the WWE most recent pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble from the year 2017. That's the start date, of course.
Mm-hmm. That's all we ever use around here.
That was a show.
That was a good show.
It was a good show.
That was the best WWE pay-per-view I've seen in a long time. I am counting tables, ladders, and AJ Styles' ass.
Fair. I wasn't as... I've had fun with previous WWE pay-per-views recently, so I haven't been quite as down on the product as you have been. But I gotta say, it was a real good show. I can't think of anything I was super... there was one result which kind of surprised me, but not in I think it was a bad call. I just was like, okay. I mean, sure. It avoided a much worse call. Yeah. I'll say that.
We don't watch the pre-show. We didn't see the pre-show. If you want to see the pre-show, it looks like there was a lot of good wrestling. However, it needs to be noted that the duo of Peni, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, beat Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
It should also be noted that apparently Nia Jax had a squash match where she killed Sasha Banks. Okay.
Maybe don't take so much vacation time, Sasha.
Pretty much.
But we open the show with a really good match. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship.
This match was really good. I can't say I ever really got into it because the finish was so obvious.
And it needed to be.
It was so obvious, but if they hadn't done it, I would have been into the match in all the wrong ways.
You know, except for one moment, I would agree. Now that finish being that Charlotte Flair goes over. Because your ideal situation here is that Charlotte Flair beats Bayley. I kept wanting to say Becky Lynch, and wrong. She beats Bayley here, does something in the next pay-per-view, and then Bayley versus Charlotte at WrestleMania.
And then Bayley wins at WrestleMania.
Sure. Bayley winning in the next pay-per-view is also fine because that gives Charlotte Flair 16 pay-per-view defenses.
16-0, and that's important.
Yeah.
17-0 would be fine too, because then she's one better, which is also great. But, we're solid. They made the right call. It was a good match. I was getting into the show. I'll say that I wasn't amazingly into this match, but that was more on me than on the match. The match was good.
Yeah. I loved the Macho Man elbow. I loved the Macho Man tights. Did my heart a good. I'm glad Charlotte Flair is using Charlotte Flair again and not just Charlotte.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. That is better. I didn't notice she'd added it back on.
Who she is important, and as much as they've been using it to fuel storylines, I don't know why they bothered dropping it. WWE has this thing where everyone's Madonna, I guess, but no.
No, not everyone.
Well, but Antonio Cesaro showed up, and he doesn't have a first name anymore.
Adrian Neville, and then yeah,
Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. I didn't even remember that shit.
No, I did. Why didn't they go with Adrian? That's way better than Neville.
Everybody loves Harry Potter?
That's a dumb reason, but you're probably right.
And that or Adrian is a girl from the Rocky movies.
Neville's a kid from the Harry Potter movies. And those were much more recent.
But Adrian Neville's not a girl.
I'm
trying to think Vince McMahon here.
Anyway.
Let's just call him Big Kicks McMuscles.
He's a small guy.
Fuck you, I'm Vince McMahon.
We'll get to fuck you, I'm Vince McMahon later.
Yeah, next match on the card was a no DQ match with Chris Jericho in a shark cage between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns for the Strawberry Championship.
Still hate the Strawberry Championship. I might be getting used to the Strawberry Championship. And I don't like that because that implies the Strawberry Championship is indoctrinating me slowly. I'm being just slowly immersed in the Strawberry Championship as a normal thing. I'm normalizing it in my own head.
Sure.
But the match was fine. The match was fun.
I was upset that it was booked. Kevin Owens, I'm tired of him. I don't like his gimmick. I don't like this thing with Chris Jericho. I think it's a waste of Kevin Owens. And I think they're putting him on a level, like on a character level that's just not using the intensity that he can come up with. He's a goofball. He's a goofball teddy bear.
But they are making excellent use, for the most part, of their Chris Jericho.
Sure, keep him out of matches, basically.
He's still charismatic. Cat knocked something over. He's still charismatic. He can still cut an amazing promo.
Sure,
but
if he chooses to.
If he chooses to. But, like, keep him out of matches.
I also wasn't fond of Roman Reigns challenging for the Strawberry title, but that is what it is.
I mean, he's one of their main event talents. He's going to challenge for the Strawberry Championship.
Yeah. This match was pretty good, though. I actually had a lot of fun watching it. I'd say it was probably better than Charlotte versus Bayley.
Yeah, I would agree. Mostly, though, because of the modern art installation that Kevin Owens made real early into the match with a chair sculpture.
Yeah.
They paid that off, and I was very happy. If they hadn't, I'd have been upset.
Yeah, lots of decent violence. I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I didn't care for the interference at the end, because I don't care for Braun Strowman.
I didn't care for the interference at the end because, like, I feel like it was unnecessary. You could have easily had another, but it all serves to #make Roman look strong. But I don't know. I wasn't a super huge fan of it. But if Roman was going to lose this match, it's good that he didn't lose clean. And he didn't. He lost the uncleanest. He was hit with brass knuckles, and there was cheating and outside interference, and he still almost won.
Yeah, it's almost like Kevin Owens was John Cena, Circle 2005. Did I say Circle? I meant Circa. I'm sick, if you couldn't tell.
But yeah. The match was super good. There was a couple really good spots. There was one Samoan drop onto a chair that was really solid.
Gorgeous. And Owens didn't hit it flush. He killed it with his butt, but like...
It kind of made it look like Roman Reigns shoved a chair up Owens' ass, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Shout-outs to Roman for, one, he's been going to the gym because he got a lot stronger because a couple months ago he could not deadlift Kevin Owens, and now he can. And double shout-out for Roman because he's getting much better at mugging.
The less you keep your real personality out of the product, the better off you are there, Joe.
No, the best wrestling gimmicks are your real personality turned up. The problem is Joe's a dick.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be a face.
That's why everyone wants him to turn heel. They can all sense that he's just an asshole.
I guess.
But not like an egotistical asshole like Brock Lesnar or Goldberg.
No, he's like a thug. He's a hard man. He'll fight you.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly the he's a guy. He's a fucking beefy gym dude. He's entirely normal in that way. And a lot of other ways. He's fucking, like, if you watch him on any of the outside stuff, like Ride Along, he is bland as shit, dude.
If he were around and Steve Blackman was around, Steve Blackman would eat him.
And to gain his normal powers?
Yes, because he is plain rice cakes.
But he's getting much better at mugging. He gave some real comedy moments to his match just with his face, and that's impressive.
Yeah, that's good. He did a good job. But next up is Rich Swann, the Cruiserweight Champion, versus Neville for the title. I am so happy that this match wasn't shit.
Yeah, it was a good Cruiserweight match.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. Imagine you put a Cruiserweight match on pay-per-view and you don't have Brian fucking Kendrick in it, and it just turns out to be a good match. I wonder if there's a common thread there. Nah.
Now, the last match with Kendrick wasn't bad, but he was mostly not in it. I used to like Spanky. I did. I don't know what he's going for now, but it's not good.
But Neville and Rich Swann both did really well. Rich Swann took the dumb wings off his tights.
Good call. Now he's got a Phoenix penis.
Yeah, now he's got a Phoenix penis. Way better. Kalisto stole those wings and wore them later, and that made me sad because I like Kalisto.
And somehow they look better on Kalisto.
It's because they're stiff.
Yeah.
They're short and they're stiff.
They weren't sad and
They're
flat.
not floppy. It was the floppiness of the wings that was the problem. But it was a solid match. Neville went over submission style, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it says so.
With Rings of Saturn, I believe.
And
correct me if I'm wrong on that down in the comments.
But, I mean, this match happened.
I'd say it was about as good as Charlotte versus Bayley.
Yeah. And none of these matches are bad.
No.
It's just the main event is so all-encompassing that it's what's drawing my brain right now. And we have the match of the night, which isn't the main event yet to go.
I will say this. It wasn't as good as CWC stuff, but it's probably the best cruiserweight match I've seen
in the main roster. I would agree. I would entirely agree. But we don't watch 205 Live, so.
We don't. Well, and they're not really main roster. That's a sideshow. Like NXT.
Yeah. So then we had John Cena versus the Demon AJ Styles.
Our Lord and Savior John Cena.
This was the match of the night.
This is,
Look, I'm still not a huge fan of AJ's in terms of his gimmick or how over he is or how apparently no one but him is allowed to win his matches according to the internet. But as far as AJ Styles, the performer, is concerned, him and John Cena put on one fucking hell of a match tonight.
There were a couple of little uh-ohs, but they weren't terrible. They turned him into okay stuff. Especially your personal pet peeve, his little strike rush that he does, which looks like shit, that John Cena no-sold and then clobbered through him with.
Because of course you would no-soul that, because he's giving you love taps. It looks ridiculous. It looks non-effective. And it was treated as non-effective, which made me happy. The match psychology was right there. John Cena belly danced aggressively a lot, and that was weird, but also somehow really intimidating. We would agree, though, match of the night?
Definitely, 110%. Afterwards, I said it's going to be a tough act to follow, and I knew the Royal Rumble was coming up, and still, this match was fantastic. I don't know if you could have booked a better match between AJ Styles and John Cena.
Like, where they are right now, the wins they have right now.
This was just 110% solid booking. And listener, I want you to go back 2 years to our first series of podcasts. Oh shit, that's almost 3 years at this point. And why don't you listen to my opinions on one Jonathan Cena? And I want you to come back here now, and I want you to bask in the fact that I am stunned and thrilled that John Cena has 16 World Championship victories.
I mean, agree. 100%. Look, whether you like him, whether you hate him, and if you hate him, you're mostly just a salty dickweed at this point.
If you hate him, you're a hater.
I mean, yeah.
Ain't no name calling necessary, you just a hater.
He deserves 16. He deserves that. He deserves to tie Flair's record. I would argue he deserves to beat it, but...
And let me make this argument here, okay? Let's be 110% perfectly honest. Ric Flair, wrestling legend, incredible promo work, very good in the ring, classic wrestler. Let's be honest, stole his gimmick from somebody else, Buddy Rogers, I want to say?
No, from the Nature Boy... the Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. He stole the name and a lot of his mannerisms from another guy who I can't remember.
Okay, and was coked out of his mind for most of his career. John Cena, Superman, hero, most Make-A-Wishes ever. I think it's okay.
And
that the fucking good guy wins for once.
And he's really good still.
He pulled shit out, man, and it's stuff we've seen before, but it was good. There was little bits in there where he tried to do the "you can't see me" on AJ Styles. AJ Styles saw him, attacked him. Then he set him up for it again, took 2 steps back so AJ literally couldn't see him, waggled his hand again, and then landed the punch. That's quality. Powerbombing himself. Quality.
Yeah, he powerbombed himself pretty hard.
Well, it was more like he jumped at AJ Styles with the intention to knock him down with his ass front ways, and AJ Styles was just like, no!
And he just moved out of the way.
And Cena just fell. Hit him and fell like a brick wall.
Oh. There was a lot of really solid spots in the match. There was a lot of really solid work. The finish was great. And by the build up to the last bit of this match, they had me guessing. I didn't know who was going to win. Going in, I was sure John was going to win, because how are they going to have John Cena lose to AJ Styles 3 goddamn times in a row?
And I reminded him that this is the WWE we're talking about.
And which cast some doubt on it. And by the end, I didn't know who was going to win. And they had me. And it paid off. And look, my disagreements with the arena fans at WWE shows are, at this point, the Two Nerds podcast, legendary. Respect to those fucking fans, because when John Cena hit 16 and won, they all got on their feet and they were all cheering.
This wasn't WWE editing. This was live shit. They were happy for him. The same crowd that was doing the John Cena sucks when he came out, the same crowd that did the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chant, that booed the shit out of him when he did strikes and cheered AJ Styles when he did strikes.
But when he won, they were on his side. And I have to give them respect for that, because it would have been just almost disrespectful not to be. The guy has fucking earned it.
One more thing I want to point out. Mm-hmm. The figure 4 leg lock was perfect. Like that spot, doing that, genius. Great way to pay respect. I'm a little sad he didn't win on it, but at the same time, you got to make your own name. And in fact, he won on a Brock Lesnar-like cavalcade of FUs. Well, AAs, whatever the fuck you want to call them. It was a little like, oh my, you've angered the Cena.
The Cena has gotten, it's been too long, you took too long to beat the Cena boss, he has turned red.
Cena is cross at moon.
Cena is cross at moon.
But yeah, it's fantastic.
Speaking of being cross at moon, let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Let's talk about the Royal Rumble match. I had a lot of thoughts going into this, and I don't like to share them because typically I don't like to have them. Because a lot of times I can write better booking in my head than ends up happening, and I end up more disappointed with the product than...
Because you're not just disappointed at the booking itself, you're disappointed that it's not the booking it could have been.
Right. So I had some ideas about who was going to be surprise entrants. I was hoping we were going to see more classic wrestlers, because I love that. Here's hoping maybe they show up in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I think that's where they're going to ship them going forward.
That would be nice. And it's WrestleMania, so you like to see all those big returning faces at WrestleMania.
I mean, that'd be like your Tatankas and stuff can be there. That's fine.
I appreciated Mark Henry. He's a Texas native, and he deserved to be there. I'm sad he didn't stick around longer, because Mark Henry really won me over starting in 2012, I want to say. Gosh, were there really any other surprise entrants?
No, not really. I mean, there were entrants who were, oh, that guy's here. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like Jack Gallagher or whatever. But that's
Jack Gallagher was kind of a surprise. I was really glad to see him. And
I mean,
the spot
look,
with him crotching Jericho with that umbrella and spinning it around.
fucking spot of the
Perfect.
night. Spot
Gorgeous.
of the night. But like the 10 guy came out at 10.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Which we kind of figured was going to happen.
Well, I mean, look, it wasn't a surprise, but it was right.
Right.
It was the right call. 10 guy comes out at 10. As a matter of fact, so long as if that's his gimmick next year, he's coming out at 10 again. If that's his gimmick, and as long as that's his gimmick, that's his entry number, 100%, I would say. But there was some stuff I didn't like in the Rumble. Obviously, there's always stuff. I didn't like that Goldberg just murdered Brock Lesnar again after Brock Lesnar had just spent like 5 minutes killing everyone in the ring. Killing everyone, and then Goldberg comes in and just murders him.
But on the flip side,
he didn't exist.
On the flip side, okay, now this is clearly what's going on here. This is what they've established. Brock Lesnar is incredibly powerful. Okay, he's huge and he'll destroy you like the Yellow Devil in Mega Man. But if you use Elect Man's charge beam and use the pause glitch, you can kill the Yellow Devil in Mega Man with one hit. And that's what Goldberg is. He's the electric charge beam.
Because he hits him with his spear right in the diverticulitis,
Yeah.
which stuns Brock for 1d4 turns.
Yeah, and then Brock has to go away. But the good thing about this, the perfect thing about this, is that all of that heat and all of that power that Brock Lesnar absorbed, beating The Undertaker, destroying the roster, destroying the Royal Rumble, he gave it to Goldberg last time they fought. Goldberg asserted his dominance over Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble. Undertaker comes in, clowns Goldberg, gets his power back. The circle is complete.
And, I mean, you can also say that because Brock is still beating everyone, and because the guys in the locker room, like the rest of the guys in the match, did get a lot of offense in on Goldberg. Like, he was in that match. He was wrestling. He didn't do the Brock thing. He didn't kill everyone. You could say that Brock is the end-all, be-all destroyer of worlds, but there's always that one guy who has your number, and for Brock, that's Goldberg.
Yep. And I think that's interesting booking. I hope if they're going to be sticking with these guys being around, I hope they stick with that mentality. And I hope eventually Brock gets his win back in a real match. But
I'm thinking WrestleMania.
Maybe. That wouldn't be bad to see.
Not 3 times in a row. Like I said earlier, not 3 times in a row.
Unless this is his punishment for all the juice. We can't suspend you because you're never here anyway. So you're going to job 2 throws down at dartboard. Goldberg.
He's not even here. I'll pay him.
We'll get him.
Especially when I tell him he's gonna get a bunch of wins off you.
What the fuck else is he gonna do? Be in that Santa Claus movie again? No.
But Vince McMahon is an amazing troll. Vince McMahon is an amazing troll. Vincent, I think I understand what you're doing. I think I finally understand what you're doing. Should we go over it now, or do you want to go through the Rumble point by point a little?
I think let's save it for the end, okay? We've already kind of spoiled, quote-unquote, some stuff, but you're not here if you didn't watch the show or don't want spoilers. So, the entire lineup, 1 to 30, okay? I'm not going to tell you when they got eliminated. Y'all can go to fucking Wikipedia for that. But it's important who was there.
And it's important what order they came in.
Sure. We had Big Cass, Chris Jericho, Kalisto, who got more offense against the future coming Braun Strowman than Sami Zayn did in his previous match and in tonight's match. Kalisto, a smaller man.
It's because he's well good at flips, and he's a luchador. He's not a vanilla midget.
I guess.
Vince hates those.
Mojo Rawley, which I took a nap. Me and Dean Ambrose took our naps. Jack Gallagher, fantastic. I think Marty Scurll might have some copyright infringement upsetness with that umbrella, but whatever, it was gorgeous. Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, The Big Show, who's thinned down a lot. He's lost a lot of muscle mass, but he's fit. Ty Dillinger at 10, as we discussed. James Ellsworth, Dean Ambrose.
Just hold up.
Sure.
So, there were a lot of big names that weren't in this Rumble. There were a lot of surprise entrants they could have done. They could have brought in someone from the Indies. They could have brought anyone up from NXT. But no, let's do James Ellsworth. He needs a spot in the Royal Rumble. Man, fuck you. I'm sorry. You could have put anyone from NXT in that that spot. Pow.
I think he was a good mid-match laugh.
Sure, but No Way Jose could have been a good mid-match laugh, and that would have gotten him some exposure at least.
I'd rather No Way Jose not be clowned by Braun Strowman. There's enough people that have been clowned by Braun Strowman. If it's just James Ellsworth, at least it's not anybody who's worth a damn.
That's true. Braun Strowman was strong. Braun Strowman.
Make Strowman look strong.
And they did. Oh boy, howdy they did. And you know who else they made look strong? The guy who eliminated Braun Strowman. Which, we had Dean Ambrose come in, and then Baron Corbin, who ended up being the guy who eliminated Braun. And I'm going to be honest with you, Baron Corbin looked good in this match.
Yeah, he looked good. He didn't look stupid good, though. He didn't look Braun Strowman good.
He wasn't being pushed to the moon. He was just being treated as a legitimate contender.
And I appreciate that.
That's a very important distinction.
Following that, we had Kofi Kingston, The Miz, Sheamus, Big E, Rusev, Cesaro, Xavier Woods. Rusev has a mask. I guess he's Cody Rhodes now. He got his nose hurt. Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews. Nice to see him. Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, Brock Lesnar, Enzo Amore, Goldberg, The Undertaker, and Trollman Reigns.
Oh, I think I get it. I think I get what Vince's plan is now. He doesn't have to change Roman's gimmick. It's better if he doesn't change Roman's gimmick. Roman is already the most over heel in the company. Alright, so look, I like what he's up to. I think he's probably one of the, most talented dudes on the roster these days. He's having some of the best times of his career. Not as good as 2 years ago, but really good times. But John Cena versus Randy Orton would have been something I saw coming, and I would not have been happy. I would not have been as happy about Randy Orton winning. Spoilers: Randy Orton wins. If the other option wasn't Roman, and the fans reacted exactly the same way, what would have been I guess that guy won by the people in attendance was an amazing standing cheering ovation because he wasn't Roman. That was... Look, they learned their lesson from last year's WrestleMania build. Triple H literally called them all replaceable, unthinking, unimportant sheep who he controls like a puppet master, and they cheered him because he wasn't Roman. Vince saw it at that point, I think. Anyone you want to get over as a huge face, anyone you want to get a good positive reaction from a crowd who's in the building, have him beat Roman.
Yep.
He's the most over heel. They don't need to turn him heel. He is a heel.
I don't even think it's as cut and dry as face and heel. I think Roman is just a very... He's a fulcrum.
Yeah.
He's
polarizing as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he has some business to attend to at WrestleMania in a match I think is a real good call.
Yes, because we've been complaining long and hard about the stupid fucking Big Dog name.
Yes, we have, because it's a stupid name, and it's a stupid name because it's the Undertaker's nickname. It'd be like if you called Roman the Phenom. And then there was that moment in Corey Graves. You foreshadowed it, you glorious motherfucker. Roman came in at 30. Undertaker was standing tall. He'd flattened everybody in the ring. And Roman is on the apron. Corey Graves goes, I think the big dog just learned whose yard this really is. And it was perfect.
Well, and then there was a little bit of a fight. And then Roman sneaks up behind Undertaker and eliminates him.
Like a heel, He sneaks up behind him and dumps him out of the ring. And then they have a stare down. And Roman looks right at the Undertaker and goes, this is my yard now.
And cut to the Undertaker with the WrestleMania sign ominously looming behind him.
Just staring at... Yeah, it's Roman versus Undertaker. Word is they push John versus Taker, which was my pet match for this year, back to next year. So Taker needs a match for this year. No one better than Roman. And if Taker decides that this is his last one, if he really wants to go out at this WrestleMania, and Roman does it, I don't think you have to change Roman's character at all to make him I think that's you turned Roman heel.
Yeah, he's just the most powerful heel in existence. You fed him too much. It's going to be like when the X-Men fought Garrock. He's just going to implode on his own power.
But I'm so glad Roman didn't win. I want to get that right out front. I'd have been mad if Roman won. That would have been terrible booking.
Well, and look, there were a million calls I would have liked to see more. I would have liked to see Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't realize he was injured.
Apparently he injured himself at TakeOver. I'm sad about that.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that thinks that maybe it was intended to be Shinsuke, and then they called an audible.
Sure, that would make sense. I was really hoping it was going to be Kurt Angle, because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he's still wrestling.
Well, it's not confirmed he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Neat. So that would be cool. He wouldn't win, obviously, because if he's going to the Hall of Fame, he's retiring.
Sure. But still, it would have been nice to see him. This is for the number 30 spot specifically, not necessarily the winner.
Yeah, no, the winner could have been a bunch of different people. Randy was a weird choice, but not a bad choice.
I wish they would have gone with Bray Wyatt.
Same.
For two reasons. One, I don't need to see Randy Orton versus John Cena again. I've got some 40 hours of it on the network.
Many different match types. The last Iron Man match they've had with men in it was in 2009. Randy Orton versus John Cena, their big blow-off match.
But I would have liked to see Bray get his win back. Finally. After 10,000 years imprisoned on the moon.
Bray getting his win back for the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would have been real good. But, I mean, Randy Orton's he's better than Roman. And he's better than fucking... Who else was in the ring that we were Jericho, oh my god.
Scuttlebutt was Jericho was going to win. That's why I was concerned. Like, yeah. I had heard a lot of dirt sheets talking about Jericho.
Well, and it made perfect sense because, like, they're talking about him getting his Grand Slam, well, I mean, above and beyond the Grand Slam. And the Strawberry Championship, outside of women's championships, is, like, the only one he hasn't held.
He didn't have the U.S. and the Universal, And he has the U.S. now, so he's just... And it would have been perfect for that. It would have been a perfect way to finally blow off the Jericho KO buddies.
Yeah.
Angle. But I don't want Chris Jericho to win the Royal Rumble in 2017. No, fuck that. Randy Orton. Randall Keith Orton wasn't necessarily my favorite option, but there were a lot of worse ones.
He's not 2014 Randy anymore.
He wasn't my favorite option. He wasn't even my favorite option in his stable. But there were a lot worse options on the table. Right then. Even right then, when it was down to him and just after Undertaker got eliminated, because he was my pocket pick. I figured it might be...
I kind of thought maybe they would give it to him and then he would go out.
Against John at WrestleMania.
Against Big Match John.
But no. Nope. Nope, Perino. Nope, Zeus.
He was kind of a pocket pick for me, too. If it wasn't going to be him, I was going to say it was going to be like Kurt Angle or someone. Like, I really thought they might have made it happen. And then he got to retire at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been really cool. They haven't done that before. It would be really cool to watch. But, I mean, this works, too. Good God, it's not terrible. It's just tired. Yeah.
But, in the moment, it was amazing. I was so happy because it wasn't Roman. I felt like an internet smart.
He just doesn't need it.
He's over. He's over as fuck. Look, he's not over as a babyface, but he's over. He's over. All right. Full disclosure, that John Cena AJ Styles match was great. Every match before it was great. The Rumble was 80% great.
That was okay.
But
one of the better Rumbles I've seen in the last year.
Maybe 75.
Sure.
But all anyone on the internet is talking about isn't that Randy Orton won, it's that Roman Reigns was in the Rumble. He's so over as a bad guy at this point. And he has fans who buy merch, so it's not like they need to change anything.
No.
He sells a decent amount. He's so over as a bad guy with a big section of the audience that literally every third tweet in the Royal Rumble tweet feed was, I can't believe Roman was in this. The pay-per-view was garbage because Roman was in the match.
This is a Royal Rumble match that included James Ellsworth and Mark, I got gassed out walking down to the ring, Henry.
And Gold, I got gassed out in my own entrance kickies, Berg.
Well, he inhaled a lot of smoke. Smoke inhalation, that's not good for you.
Anyway.
And under I didn't get gassed out, I appeared in the ring because I'm a supernatural creature taker.
And a whole bunch of other dudes who you would think, nope. All anyone was talking about was that Roman Reigns was dared to be in the Rumble. It's gold. It's a gold mine.
But, yeah, this was a positive experience. I'd say this was if not a B+, solid A- show. I mean, it was really, for the WWE. Geez, I could put together a better card with less restrictions and a bunch of, cool indie guys. But for the WWE, this was a great show.
It would have been like a C NXT takeover.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, solid work, solid card, good great. Show, had a good time. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. Maybe not the SmackDown main event, but I mean, kind of looking forward to Roman versus Taker.
Yeah, that should be good. I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff. I got a couple of bets for WrestleMania that I'm keeping in my head, like I did what might happen in this Rumble match, and I want to see if they come to fruition. I'll be sure to let you guys know. You should start
doing so you could brag. You should start doing the Johnny Carson thing. Write your picks down, put them in an envelope. That way you can be like...
you're right, I should, because of that whole Undertaker thing. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to complete the transference of power.
But you gotta write that shit down.
Yeah, but I gotta write that shit down. Otherwise, it's just like, I knew that. I knew that was going to be the thing. I'm smart. Someone love me. Someone love me. I'm Kevin Owens.
Man, this Jericho business needs to wrap up. I think we're all set, yeah?
I think, yeah. I need to cough a lot and blow my nose.
All right. Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
I'm not going to record it this time.
I'm sure the listener thanks you.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore!